count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them. How to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands.
From the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at the newly named New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. It's Ware. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Back 99 Philly, here we go! Gun! 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 Gun!
To the air, Allen. And he's got his man. It's the tight end play. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
On the run, it's Pumphrey. And he coughed it up. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, It was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Sunday.
Now they'll run it on the toss. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Bortles going to give to Yeldon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? You made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Calais Campbell on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go! Over!
They run with Pumphrey, and little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, it's 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey. And he loses the football a second time. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out.
Put on that ball?
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball. What's going on? Back-to-back drives, back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out here to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe there'll be changes, but if nothing else, there will be a few stern talking tos, that's for sure.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now with Pumphrey. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. It's caught. Jones. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he loses the football a second time. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. They'll set up the screen to McCoy. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The defensive tackle Kyle Williams there for the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They go play action for Yeldon. Now it's Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this will be taken at the 13. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that. Super toe.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Looking downfield for Jones. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. It's Pumphrey on the toss. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Now that's not a call you see every day. A toss play inside their own 10-yard line. Takes a little bit of brass right there, and they were able to get a little bit of yardage.
No. Check. Patriot!
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Bills on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Allen. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep is DJ Chark. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go.
Now this time Bortles will throw. Rolling to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. On play action, now Bortles. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 43 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A 1st down carry now for Yeldon. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Bortles to the former Jets, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That one complete. He finds Shark. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10.
Detroit! Gun! Hut!
A final shot before half for Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Bortles throwing on second down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. Play action. Now it's Bortles. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
First down. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Allen going to throw. This complete to Jones. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Hey, check. Watch him now, Barney. Detroit.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Lucky 56.
They'll run here with Pumphrey. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy is going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Detroit!
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. Jones has it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Leopard! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Over!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run again with Pumphrey. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Watch it now, Barney! Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the second tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Able to convert on fourth to bring up first and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Over.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. He's going to get it running right. Oh, little 360. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Hey, boys, got 4 down.
Throwing now is Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Miles Jack in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to let this slip away.
Now Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Now Bortles will give to Yeldon. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Here's Bortles to throw. Looking deep downfield. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Poyer. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They begin the drive with Pumphrey. Always got some breathing room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hut.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Allen off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Calais Campbell in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming.
Detroit!
This is 3rd and long.
Detroit! Detroit!
So the shotgun snap to Allen. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Allen. Got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. It was the free safety to Sean Gibson who was able to range over and knock it away. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Spread right, 72.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now the Bills will take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. To throw is Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. A handoff to start out the drive. It's Pumphrey. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. Now the Bills will hustle to the line.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. They find some open field. Oh, no, he lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Back to throw. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return. And
what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Now he's flushed out left. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. He's back to throw. Completes it to Lee. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this is no good. Oh, by a matter of inches, he missed it wide to the right. Well, we were prepping for overtime up here in the booth, partner. Thought for sure we were destined for OT. And then the chip shot field goal, no good. A tough loss.
Oh, without question, because When you're saying prepping, I was locked in. I think you were too. We're going to overtime. I was already gathering my thoughts about, okay, how do we start? What happens with the coin toss? Who's going to play defense first? And I have to admit, I'm in a little bit of shock that he missed that field goal.
I'm absolutely still in shock. Just a tough way to end it. So for the Bills, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next, all